Yeah, all right, everyone. Hey, welcome back. I think today it's our 21st episode. It's been
Yeah.
a while, it's been a month, we haven't done it. And I think for today, we don't quite have a topic to talk about, but necessarily, but more of a giving you an update, right, about what's going on, what we've been up to, and kind of like going back to the whole purpose of this podcast, like sharing our journey, right, and continuing to do that. And yeah, so yeah. So how are you doing, Kai? Actually, first of all, like how's it been going? You told me you had a couple of shoots, and partly that's why we have postponed this podcast. Is that we've been kind of both busy in a way,
hmm
but more I think yeah you've been pressured more. I feel like Kai, you've been kind of busy with your shoots and like dealing with clients and especially like that we mentioned in the previous episodes that you've been trying to start out your own business, right?
Yeah.
uh, Videography business and reaching out to clients and factories and all of that stuff. So, how's that been going?
So, so I haven't. I'm still in the process of the paperwork for the company. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, the projects that I'm doing is more for other agencies. So I'm still working as a freelancer, but I am leading a group of people working on the project. And I think I told you I have to
Mm-hmm.
shoot 6 to 7 videos before the end of the year. These are all
Yeah.
like for TV, the government, they're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
they have these festival and stuff. So yeah, like I'm just focusing on this right now. That's why I've been so busy.
That's quite nice. So these are like big projects, yeah. Something for TV.
Yeah. The thing is, some might say that because of COVID, we
Mm-hmm.
we as filmmakers we kind of lose a lot of job opportunity, but somehow it's kind of the reverse because
Mm-hmm.
everything, especially like these events, they move all like online, live
Mm-hmm.
stream, everything
Yes.
become digitalized. So then
Yes.
in order to do that, you have to shoot it, right? So
Yeah.
things
Right.
that were used to be like live and then people watch other artists perform and stuff. Now we get to shoot for them so they can put it online. So suddenly, like, there's so many things that we gotta shoot.
There's so
So it's like
much opportunity. Yeah. For
yeah, yeah,
us.
yeah. It's pretty funny actually. Like, just the total reverse that what we expected.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And I feel like filmmaking is one of those things that you either don't have anything to do, you have no work, or you have all the work in the world, right?
Exactly,
Because
exactly.
because it feels like okay, like if nobody knows you, then you're probably not getting as many gigs and as many jobs.
Mhm.
But if once you start like once you start kicking in like some gigs and taking on roles, then you start to get clients from referrals, and that's when things start to get going, right? Like, and you kind of work nonstop,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. It's one of those things that are really interesting. So, like, have you been dealing with like everything, like from recording to post production, like from pre-production to post-production to even like shooting, and what's the process been like
This
with
is actually
shooting,
something
taking on
that
these guys? Yeah.
I wanted to talk about also. I've thought of this, like, and I'm actually training this whole idea
Mm-hmm.
of these process is actually training me for the future when I actually open my business. So right now I have to shoot a lot of videos, and there's a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people to manage because obviously I cannot do all by myself.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
thing is, in order for me to have enough time to do all of these at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
I need to hire a lot of people that I trust so they
Right.
can work on it for me. So basically, I'm just director. So I'm just gonna, like, a kind of writer as well. Like, I'll decide how the story is gonna go, how everything is
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like. I kind of prepare the storyboard and everything as well. But during the production, we're gonna have cinematographers. Like, everyone is gonna be there, and then I'm gonna have an editor as well. So I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
save. Like, I hired them so I can have more time working on other projects simultaneously. So this is
Yeah.
something that I kind of like vision in the future, inshallah, when I open the business. I kind of want it to be like that also. Like, I want to hire people who are better than me working on the projects for me in a way. It's like I just hired them to do the things that I cannot do. Like, because I do have a friend, he owns a business agency, and he kind of want to get all the money, as much money as possible. So he doesn't want to hire anyone. But in the end, he kind of just, I don't want to swear, but he's effed up. Yeah, he's effed up. Like he do editing, he shoot it, he do the animation, After Effects, like, and he direct, and then he basically just like a one-man crew, but he do like a huge budget project, but he do all by himself. But the thing is, he gets super exhausted. He doesn't have time for family, and he's just like, at the end, he just starts to question, is that even worth it? You know?
Yeah,
So,
and plus,
yeah.
doing everything by yourself doesn't necessarily mean quality, like most of the times, right? Because
That's
when you
very
hire
true. That's
people,
very true.
when you hire people and like separate tasks, then you have more time to work on a specific thing, right? And so that gives you more, like it comes back to quality, right? Like if you're shooting only, then you're focused more on that, and that yields more quality with your footage, right? And so I think he's definitely having a hard time, if that's the story. He's definitely having a hard time scaling, right? And that's one of the perks of scaling is like, okay, like you want all the money, but at the same time you can manage it in a way that allows you to get more money, right? And at the same time yield more results and better quality. Like if he can communicate with the business owners, right, and tell them that, okay, like if you give me more budget, then I would be able to hire people who are specialists at doing their thing, and then therefore I can give you a better product, right?
Yeah.
And so this is one of the ways that he can do that. But yeah, anyways, like, so right now you're trying to so have you hired people? Like you actually hired an editor, and like
we're talking to them right now. Like,
so what are the things that are you taking care of then? Like
basically I just decide how the video is gonna be like. So I did draw storyboards.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to be at the shooting day. Like I'm gonna direct them on how it's gonna be like. And also, I'm gonna need to supervise the editing. So when the guy's doing it, I'm actually more afraid of the editing, because I did tell the agency that I was gonna edit myself, but they also said that they suggest me to hire another editor because they're really scared that I cannot manage it. As you said, I really think that you cannot be so short-sighted and look at the money, because like at the end, besides getting money from the project, you also hope that this project can lead you to even more clients, right? So
right.
having it to be in like the best quality possible is very crucial. So like instead of just editing myself, like this editor, he's very professional. He did even like feature films before.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna like consult with him a bit and see if he can bring in some of his experience in the work as well. So it's not just gonna be fully my idea. He's gonna put in as well, and then hopefully we can work it out. That's my
yeah. That's right awesome. And I assume directing is hard as well, right? Like, how are you managing that? I mean, that must be difficult.
Directing, I'm not worried. Like, I the most I've did was like 4 projects at the same time directing, and it's like big budget commercial. Like the most I did was 4. Okay. So 6, and this one is not like too intense in terms of this is more like some animation mixed up with some interviews and stuff. It still is like a documentary style video, but because it's like an interview, I don't really need to direct acting or anything. So I think it's gonna be okay. Yeah,
it's more like directing the animation actually, because like you get to have a certain layout and a certain vision, and then you kind of tell the editors and the people that work with you how to work towards that, I think. Yeah, that's kind of cool, man. So the 6 shoots are divided over like multiple days, or
yeah, we're still trying to schedule the time. Actually, tomorrow we're gonna go scout for the location early morning. So we're still in the pre-production phase right now.
Yeah,
actually,
awesome.
You know, the thing is they have 20 videos. They have 20 videos that needs to be shoot, but all I can take is 6. Like I wish I can take all of the 20 because that's a lot of money. But but like I was thinking, man, how much can I take? Like, and I really like it's a reasonable number. Like 6 is like the best. So the agency, they can hire like 4 more teams, I think, to handle other videos. but I really wish I could take all of them because it's
Yeah,
really
don't
good.
we all wish we take all the
Yeah.
yeah, and if
But-
you like it, then that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
But here's the thing that
okay.
I was talking to you earlier before the podcast started. It's like the thing that as filmmakers we're really busy, right? Sometimes it's just like full on shooting and you don't even see anyone. You don't see family member. You don't see anyone. Anyone, anything. You don't even see light besides the light and set. And so the thing is, I kind of really reflected on my priorities these days. Like what really is, I don't want to get too philosophical, but like,
no, bro, go ahead.
Like my life, okay? I need to have certain priorities that I know that these things are truly important to me. And there are things that once you lose it, it's not coming back.
Yes.
You know, that's what I really think about it. Like even for jobs or something, you can lose a job, but you can find another job, right?
Yeah.
And as some of you might know, I just had a newborn son. He's like 3.5 months old right now. So seeing him growing up is really important to me. This is something that as a father, I want to see him grow up, and also spending time with family is really important to me. And spending time with family is what keep my mental stable, because when sometimes it's very stressful, your mental just goes everywhere. So this is something, it's like my top priorities. And then comes to money, which gives our family a better quality of life. But the thing is, you gotta know when is it too much. When is it something that you're just being greedy? You just want a better car, let's say, just so you look good in other people's eyes. Like, I don't want to reach that point. Like, I really want to be clear that maybe if I have a car, it's just for the family to travel and everything is convenient. I don't want the money to surpass that level where I see it just so other people can see it. Now, I mean, I get it just so other people can see it. So right now, my finance state is like, it's at the border where inshallah, like, we can have a good quality life, but at the same time I'm not too rich. Like I'm right there right now. That's what I'm trying to balance. Yeah,
man, that's awesome. I think this goes back to like the concept like work-life balance, right? Like you're trying to balance that, and it's hard and it's really difficult to balance like your career and like the time that you put in towards towards filming and towards shooting and towards filmmaking, and at the same time balance that with like seeing your child and like seeing your family. And it's definitely hard because there are things that aren't under your control and you're trying to balance things out, right? And at the same time there's the money, that side as well. It's difficult. And so I think it's a tough balance, man. It's a tough balance to achieve. And I haven't reached that point yet. And so for as much as I want to relate to you, I can't necessarily relate to you because I'm I'm a bit back from where you are, and so because obviously I'm younger, so I assume it's definitely hard, and that's something that I hear a lot, especially for people who are older than me talk about, you know. And man, you inshallah you'll face it soon, as soon as I'll face it and I'll learn.
We're gonna make another podcast when you're facing.
Yeah, imagine like forwarding like 4 or 5 years, 5 years forward, and then all of a sudden we're having the same conversation. That's gonna be interesting. Actually,
you can just look at this episode,
and learn from the lessons.
but here's the thing though, like sometimes you stress over something so much, but at the end you just need to go through it. You don't even need to solve it. You just have to withstand all of the stress, and when it's over, it's just over. There's certain things in life like you just cannot solve it, you know. And I feel like especially at the beginning when my son is growing up, that's like the worst. I'm not saying that he's the worst, but like it's so tiring. I gotta work, I gotta look for work and all that stuff, and basically you don't get any sleep at night. But there's no way to solve it. You cannot just tell him don't cry, wake up at 8 a.m. and then shut the hell up. You cannot do that. You just have to pass through that harsh 2 month, 3 month. And now, alhamdulillah, he's sleeping right now. I hope he doesn't wake up. But like enough with me. I've been holding earlier before the podcast. I told you like I didn't want to ask you what's going on with you. I keep
Yeah, man.
talking about your BMPC 6K, and I
Yeah.
want to know what's going on with it.
So, bro, I just rigged it up. I actually, I want to send you a picture. Actually, I totally forgot. Yeah, of like the full rig, like, and like I've been testing, like shooting it and doing some tests with it. And yeah, recently, so my uncle has a factory, and I pitched him like an idea of like shooting a whole commercial and doing a whole like film that defines the brands of what they do, and it's basically a mattress factory, right? They produce mattresses, and so that's what I've been working on recently. I've been trying to like I did the pre-production and like organize like did the storyboarding and like the shot list and organized the whole idea and wrote a script for that. And yeah, this week actually, or last week I went and I shot the commercial, shot like in the factory and like them working, and like it took me like a couple of days of shooting, and then now yeah, I'm working on that as well. And yeah, there have been some, and basically like overall it's just I'm kickstarting my journey, right? There have been some like calls, like promising some like client works in the future, and so yeah, I've been discussing that as well with other people, and I've been trying to like build connections, get to know people, and at the same time do work in order to get known and start my journey, and so that's what I've been working on. But man, like the black magic footage is freaking sick. It's just amazing, bro.
So you use that to shoot the factory?
Yeah. And surprisingly, so I have the NPF battery. I don't know if we're gonna go too technical here, but the NPF 970.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm using it, but yeah.
How many do you have, by the way? You just have one?
I have one, and I don't. I think like surprisingly, it was enough. It was enough. Like
really?
I shot like
for the whole day?
Yeah, I shot. Yeah. It gives me like hour and a half. One and a half hours of footage, right? Approximately at 8:1 compression rate, which is quite good.
That's
actually.
Good. Really good.
Yeah, that's good. And yeah, I've been working with that. And actually, not a full day, but more like 4 hours. I think it's enough for 4 hours.
That's still pretty
4
good,
hours.
because
Yeah,
sometimes
that's pretty
I
good.
use up to 2 batteries for a morning. So
Yeah. But definitely, I need to get another one. Yeah, it's not gonna be enough when I start to take on more gigs and like shoot more, right?
I think 3 or 4 is like the sweet number for if you like intense work for like the whole day. 3 or 4 is safer.
Yeah, definitely, just to keep yourself safe.
Have you seen the footage though?
I have seen it. It's quite good. 6K raw, man. Oh my god. But also, it's quite heavy, bro. Like the footage is quite heavy.
Are you using DaVinci?
I'm using DaVinci, but I'm struggling with editing the footage. So.
By the way, okay, yeah, I don't want to get technical also, but do you know about generate optimized media, the settings?
Yes.
So did you generate it?
So you use proxy files, right? You create proxy files from
but I think it's a bit, I'm not sure, but I think like optimized media is kind of different from proxy. It's not exactly proxy. Yeah.
I haven't used it probably.
Like that thing is you let it sit for the night, and then it kind of make it into like a type of proxy, but it's really super fast. Yeah. Super fast. I can even use it on my laptop.
I'd love to know how I can do that. So when you create like this optimized media, then like when you color grade, like at the end before you export, you remove that, right, and you export without it.
No, that's the thing. You can color grade with it, and then you just export directly, and it will export the original folder. You don't need to bring back the original file. You can color grade that optimized media. You color grade it, and then you just export directly.
Bro, that is sick. I would love to know how I can do that.
Okay, I'll tell you after the podcast, because I don't want to get too
that would be sick, bro.
But it's really good, man. It's so good.
Yeah, bro. But generally, like that's what's been going on with me, like just kickstarting my career here. And
I'm actually curious, like how are you doing to reach out? Like what are you doing exactly to reach out to new clients?
Bro, it's just connections. It's just people. So there's this guy who has there's this guy who knows this guy who, like, I tell him like I'm a filmmaker, and it's almost like, bro, it's almost like an exponential growth. Like once you start to know people, then things start to open up for you. You know.
So it's just like the word of mouth, or
just connections, words of mouth, and all of that. You know. Yeah. And I don't want to be like, okay, like I'm at the point where I'm like really set, but it's just I'm at this starting point where things are like firing up.
Oh, that's good. But how are people, like, I'm curious, like, how are people reacting to you when you say you're a filmmaker? Like, do you have, because maybe it's your friend, right?
Yes. So people don't actually take you seriously until they see the camera and they see the gear. I don't know what's wrong with that, but when they see like you have a big camera and all of that, then people start taking you seriously.
So you just show them your rig.
Yeah. I don't just show them, like I tell them I'm a filmmaker, and then they're like, okay, like maybe we need to do a test shoot or something, right? And then when you go to the shoot with all this gear, you have lighting, you have cameras, you have all of that, and then they start to take you more seriously. But how is it for you though? Like I'm actually curious about like how do people react to how, like, what's the impression that you have with clients?
Actually, it's quite different from your, I guess maybe it has to do with culture, but usually when I talk to them, they trust me, and they saw one or two work that I did, and they just trust me. Like I do want to believe that it's because I can like relate to them in a way. Like when I talk to them, they feel like I understand them, and they just feel comfortable. Like because I am conscious when I'm talking to clients, like I want to speak their language. I want them to know that I understand their problem, and what I do can solve their problem. So like a lot of them actually just immediately talk with me, like as if we're going to start working together already. It's like it actually happened pretty soon. Like I just had this Turkish guy, actually, he's in Taiwan. He make all of the ice cream in Taiwan. Okay, all of these Turkish ice cream that they sell in Taiwan is made by him. And then we talked a bit, and immediately after that, he just want to work with me on a project. But here's the thing, I did learn that when you have these prospects, like potential clients coming to you, you have to filter them first. You have to know that if it's a good fit. Like, and one of the thing is that if they can pay you enough, are you happy to work with them? And like, I actually wrote it down somewhere for what are the criteria for a good client. And even if it seemed to be a good fit at the beginning, but once you filter it, and if there's something missing, you actually shouldn't work with them, because as a long term, they might mess up your whole schedule. They'll mess up your like your mood and everything, because bad clients really destroy everything. Like even if they don't pay on time, it annoys you, you know? So like I kind of need to know if this guy is good fit, if he is willing to pay enough, and if he's gonna pay everything on time and stuff. Like I try to understand this guy a bit more, and then once I think he's a good fit, then I'm gonna work with him. I'm actually gonna have a phone call with him tomorrow night, so we'll see about that.
It's all through communication, right? So when you call them up, right, like they like you just explain to them, and in a way, like
no actually that guy I just happened to meet him in a restaurant. Like I just met, because we're like, I'm a Muslim, and then we don't have a lot of halal restaurants.
Yes.
And then so I went to this restaurant, and then he went to this restaurant, and I speak Turkish. We just talk, and then we end up connecting. So sometimes these networking, cool. it doesn't necessarily need to be like email or cold call. Sometimes you just see someone in real life. And I did learn this from the future, actually.
So what is it? He's a restaurant owner, if you don't mind me asking, right?
No. He's a customer also.
Customer. Oh, okay.
He sell ice cream, but we went to like this Chinese food restaurant that is halal, and then we just talked.
So you met with him in the restaurant?
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah. So for the first time.
Whoa, that's a nice coincidence.
Yeah. So it's like I was gonna say, like, the future. I remember one of the episode, Crystal say that, you picture your potential clients, okay, and you figure out what kind of thing. But obviously, that's not what I did, but that's what he said. So you figure out what your potential client do. Let's say they do yoga or they like to play golf. Then you go do those stuff, and you're trying to find them. It's kind of funny. So yeah, this business owner, she's like, she do yoga also, and then she said that she imagined her potential clients do yoga also. So what she did is she go to her yoga class and she tried to talk to everyone and see if anyone needs a website. You know, she just try to connect to people like in real life. You don't always have to do like sales call and email. So that's kind of interesting. I want to bring up another thing. One of my plan is to go to trade shows also. I want to go to trade show because there's a lot of trade show in Taiwan, like exhibition of like companies. They exhibit their equipments, their electronic devices, whatever it is, and I'll just go there and talk to everyone one by one.
You kind of pitched yourself, right?
Yes. Because I used to work as a translator in those exhibition, and I know how it works. So I'm just gonna one of my plan to find new clients.
Yeah, bro. I think also filmmaking is one of those things that's kind of not. I don't want to say easy, but like people accept, right? Like every business owner and everybody needs somebody to like when you offer them to film their products and like showcase what they're working on, then like people generally would be happy about that, and they would be welcoming. They would want you to come over and shoot for them, right? And they would pay you even. So that's what I've noticed. People are very positive about media in general and marketing, especially like with the age of social media where these things have taken have like flew off, right? Like this is the age we're living in, and everybody needs a filmmaker, everybody needs the photographer. And so
actually this is something that I want to bring up. I heard Jeff Bezos talking about this concept the other day, and he said that people always go to him and then say, hey, what's the next new thing, like what's going to be popular in the future. Like he asked Jeff Bezos his opinion on the future. And Jeff Bezos said like people keep asking what's the next big thing, but they never ask like I forgot what was the question, but he said people never ask him what is gonna remain in the future. Like what he was trying to say, that basically everything is gonna disappear in the future, and there'll be new thing emerging, and certain things will stay. And for him, the idea of people wanting cheap stuff and people wanting stuff to come to their house fast is never gonna disappear. And that's what Amazon is about. So he said that you should look for things that is gonna be there the next 10 years. So let's say like big headphones that I'm using, it might not be there in the next 10 years. So investing in it now might not be a good idea. That's what he meant, right? But I thought about it. I feel like videos is here to stay. I feel like 10 years later, video is still gonna be something. So you know,
man, it's the new form of communication. So
exactly,
it's definitely going to stay.
Like you said, people don't hesitate asking for videos. They don't want to reject videos, because I feel like videos is like it's not even optional. It's compulsory now. If a business doesn't have video about their product and stuff, you just don't have that much trust towards this business, right? So I feel like video is here to stay. And hopefully we're at the right place, you know, like doing videos.
Yeah, for sure, bro.